Uh, as for whether you'd like EU4 if you like CK2, the question is, it depends on what you like about CK2. I happen to like both but I like them for very different reasons. What I like about CK2 is the character level system. This is to me, it's a great example of what I would call an emergent game. There's a lot of emergent gameplay and emergent storytelling. It's got some nice deep systems in it that create really cool stories, really cool experiences. It's got not the most intuitive gameplay in the world, but gameplay that's very doable. But really satisfying almost no matter what's going on. What I like most about CK2 is the game is fun when you lose, when you win, when you're in between, whatever. Like, it's just a fun game because it tells great stories no matter what's going on. EU4 is not a storytelling game at all. EU4 is like a Risk-style, paint the map your color game. And it satisfies a very different part of my gaming brain. Like, this game satisfies my almost role-playing storytelling side of my gamer existence, whereas EU4 is much more the strategy, take over the world, paint the map your color, fight wars against other people kind of side. You're not making plots like you are here. You're not creating advantageous marriages. You're not building up a dynasty with a lot of high stewardship characters. You're just trying to paint the map your color. If you like painting the map your color, EU4 is great. It's a lot of fun. I think it's a simpler game. It's a little easier to play than Crusader Kings. It's a little easier to learn than Crusader Kings. When you lose, though, EU4 is not fun. As I just said, I think CK2 is a lot of fun whether you're winning or losing. EU4 sucks when you're losing. It's no fun at all. You're just getting crushed. There's like nothing you can do. It's like losing wars is a pain in the butt. It's not a lot of fun. Losing territory means that you're not going to be able to paint the map your color as easily. And there's a kind of a runaway thing in EU4, whereas in CK2, like as you get bigger in CK2, yes, you get more powerful, but you also have a whole new set of challenges to deal with in terms of managing your empire. In EU4, as you get bigger, you get more powerful. As you get smaller, you get less powerful. And it's a lot of fun to start small and get big. It's a lot less fun if you start medium-sized and lose some territory in EU4. And like try to get big again. It's just not... The game is really designed... I think EU4 is really like a kind of a ramp thing. You get big, you get bigger, you explode, you take over the world, or as much of the world as you care to take over in any given playthrough, and that's very satisfying and fun. But to me, it's a less historical, less role-play-y experience. It's much more of a like, hey, let's play a strategy game. Let's put it that way. It's a strategy game. This is like a role-playing storytelling game. Victoria is the most... personally, I think Victoria is the most historical of the Paradox games. It's also the most complex and most difficult to play, not counting Hearts of Iron. I'm leaving Hearts of Iron out altogether because Hearts of Iron is its own little mess, which I don't know enough about. I can't speak eloquently about it because I haven't played it enough. Of the three that I'm most familiar with, CK2, EU4, Victoria 2. Victoria is the most historical, but it's also the clunkiest. It's the oldest. It's on the old engine. It's not on the Classwoods engine. It's just they're all different games. They all serve different purposes. I happen to like all of them, but it's no guarantee that if you like one, you'll like the others. I've definitely talked to people, and we've had people in the chat who really like CK2 and don't like EU4, and vice versa. People who really like EU4 and don't like CK2. Yeah, Victoria is really cool. Victoria is another game where you don't have to be taking over territory for it to be fun. You can play almost, I would say, more than any other Paradox title. You could go the entire game in Victoria without fighting a single war and have a lot of fun, just managing internal stuff. So that's what's cool about Victoria. The population system is great. The population system is amazing. It's really, like I said, it's the most. I think it's the most historical of the lot. I'm able to talk about this. I'm like AFKing this because there's literally nothing for me to do in my realm right now. We're just sitting here waiting for time to pass. I'd be at speed 5 if I was playing by myself. So yeah, Victoria 2 is a really historical game, and it is even more emergent in a sense. It's a kind of a complex system. If you've heard of the complexity theory, stuff like that, it is based on a very simple set of rules about how members of different pops as they call them, population groups, move from one population group to another, and that is like the basis on which the entire game is built. All of the other mechanics, the things that you can do, are influenced by and influence these pop groups, but you have no direct control over those populations. You can't just say, you go to here. You can influence them in certain ways. You can try to get more soldiers by encouraging recruitment of soldiers, but you can't just say, I'm going to redistribute people into my soldier positions. You have levers like taxes, like national focus, so on and so forth. But by and large, the game is like, it's and some people can find this very frustrating, but if you like this kind of style of game, you really like Victoria. It takes a while to learn, but once you get it, it's really cool. So basically, you can like turn these little dials. Like I can turn a dial over here, and then somewhere way over here, something else changes as a result of it. Not always in the most obvious ways. Once you start to learn the systems, you start to see how turning this dial will cause like this thing to go that way and this other thing to go this way. This population group to shrink even though you weren't intending that. This other population group to grow even though that wasn't what you were intending necessarily. And it ends up creating these really interesting dynamics, which are very reflective. It's not just random. This is the thing. What I should say is that's really cool because it's not random. What's really cool about it is that it's based on the historical forces that were at work during the Industrial Revolution in terms of migration to urban areas that changed from being in agrarian societies to industrial societies. And they're all highly interconnected. Look at my sister. Uh-oh.